Rain was coming down in thin, cold sheets when Ethan Cole saw it happen. He was sitting in his old Ford truck outside the local high school, waiting for his daughter Lily to come out. The parking lot buzzed with teenage chatter and car engines. But what caught Ethan's attention wasn't noise. It was silence, the kind that fills the air right before something bad happens. Across the street, a group of boys surrounded a girl, small, quiet, clutching her books like they were armor. He saw one shove her shoulder. Another knocked her notebook to the ground. She tried to smile it off, to keep walking, but they laughed louder. Ethan's jaw tightened. The rain hit harder. He didn't know her name, didn't know her story. But he knew that look, fear mixed with shame. He'd seen it in villages halfway across the world. He'd seen it in his own mirror when he first came back from war. He stepped out of the truck.
Hey!
His voice cut through the storm like thunder. The boys froze. One of them, a tall kid with a varsity jacket, snorted. "This isn't your business, old man." Ethan's boots splashed through a puddle as he walked closer. His presence alone shifted the air, calm, slow, controlled, but behind his eyes, something unreadable. He stopped just a few feet away, glanced at the girl trembling behind her fallen books, then looked back at the boys. "You're right," he said quietly. "It's not my business. But it will be, if you don't start walking away right now." The tallest one laughed again, nervous this time. "Who do you think you are?" Ethan's voice dropped to a whisper. "Someone who's done worse things than you can imagine to protect people like her." "Don't make me remember how?" The smirk vanished. They scattered like leaves in the wind. Ethan bent down, picked up the girl's soaked notebook, and handed it to her gently. "You okay?" She nodded, tears mixing with the rain. Thank you. They do this a lot." He sighed. "Not anymore." She hesitated, glancing at the patch on his jacket, faded, but still visible U.S. Army veteran. "You were a soldier?" she asked.
Was,
he said softly. "Now I'm just a dad trying to teach my daughter not to walk past when someone's hurting." Later that afternoon, Lily came running out of the school, her backpack bouncing.
Dad?
"You'll never believe it. There was this crazy rumor going around. Some guy scared off Jake and his friends for picking on a new girl. They said he looked like a soldier or something." Ethan smiled faintly. "Sounds like a smart guy." She squinted at him. "Wait, Dad. That wasn't you, was it?" He gave her a look, the kind only a parent gives. "Let's just say everyone needs to feel safe at school. That includes her." Lily smiled. "You're such a dorky hero, Dad." The next day, when the new girl, her name was Maya, walked into class, something had changed. People smiled at her. One kid even offered her a seat. Word had spread, not about the bullying, but about the man who stood up for her. A quiet reminder had rippled through the school. Kindness isn't weakness. Courage doesn't always come from size or popularity, it comes from heart. 2 weeks later, the principal invited Ethan to speak on Veterans Day. He stood in front of hundreds of students, his voice steady but his eyes soft. "We wear uniforms to fight wars," he said, "but the real battles, they happen every day right here. When someone gets pushed down, when someone feels invisible, that's when heroes are needed most." He paused, glancing toward Maya in the front row, smiling now, surrounded by friends. And sometimes, being a hero just means not walking away. The gym was silent for a long moment. Then came applause, slow, growing, heartfelt. Afterward, Maya found him outside near the flagpole. "You didn't have to do what you did," she said. Ethan smiled. "That's the thing about kindness," he said. "You don't have to. You just choose to." She nodded, eyes glistening. "Thank you for choosing me." He looked at her, his heart full. "Thank you for reminding me why I came home." Lutzu, as he drove away with Lily that evening, the sun finally broke through the clouds. "Dad," Lily said quietly, watching the light dance across the windshield. "Do you think they'll stop being mean now?" Ethan smiled. "Maybe. But even if they don't, you stand up anyway. Because when you stand up for one person, you teach 100 others how to care." Through that day, in a small-town high school, a single dad veteran didn't just stop a few bullies. He started something bigger, a chain reaction of courage, kindness, and quiet strength. And he never asked for thanks, because real heroes never do. The following weeks brought quiet changes. Nothing dramatic, no parades, no headlines, but real ones. Kids who once looked away when someone was teased began to speak up. Teachers noticed the difference too. A kindness board appeared in the school hallway, sticky notes filled with small gestures of good. Helped me with homework. Sat with me at lunch. Stood up for me when I was scared. No one said it out loud, but everyone knew where it started, with the quiet man in the old Ford truck. One Friday afternoon, as Ethan waited again outside the school, Maya came walking up with Lily. They were laughing, sharing earbuds, bonded in the way only teenage girls can be after life has tested them both. "Hey, Mr. Cole," Maya said brightly. "Guess what? The principal's starting a new student group, kind of like an anti-bullying club, but cooler. We're calling it The Stand. We wanted to ask if you'd come talk to us." Ethan blinked. "Meh. Yeah," Lily chimed in. "They want you to tell your story, Dad. About standing up, and about, life after the army." He hesitated, memories flickering like old film reels. Dust, noise, the weight of things he'd never said aloud. "I'm not sure teenagers want to hear about war," he said quietly. Maya shook her head. "Not the war. The healing. How you keep going after." Her words hit him deeper than she could know. That weekend, Ethan sat at his kitchen table, an untouched cup of coffee beside him, old photographs scattered across the wood, his unit, his late wife smiling in a summer dress, Lily as a baby clutching his dog Tags. For years, he'd built walls around his pain, protecting himself, protecting Lily. But maybe it was time to let some light in. He picked up a picture of his team, 5 faces frozen in time, and whispered, "Maybe this is how I honor you guys." The next week, Ethan walked into the school auditorium. The seats were packed, not just students but parents, teachers, even local reporters. He adjusted the microphone, his hands trembling slightly. "I used to think bravery meant running toward danger," he began. "But it also means standing up for what's right, when no one else will." He looked around the room, at Maya, at Lily, at the sea of faces listening. "I spent years learning how to fight wars, but the hardest battle I ever fought was learning how to be kind again." Silence fell. Even the restless student stayed still. "I'm not special," he said softly. "I'm a dad, a neighbor, just like anyone else. But if you remember anything from today, remember this: every time you choose kindness, you make the world a little safer for someone else."